name of this guy is, I hope I get his name right, Chamath Palihapitiya. He's a venture capitalist. And I want you to listen to this entire piece that I'm going to play from him because it is rather important.
But are you suggesting, you keep saying propping up zombie companies. Are you arguing to let airlines, for example, fail?
Yes.
Why? I mean, how does that make sense in the broader scheme of the economy?
Because it's not, because when you look at what it means, this is why I'm saying, like, this is a lie that's been purported by Wall Street. When a company fails, it does not fire their employees. It goes through a packaged bankruptcy, right? If anything, what happens is the people who have the pensions inside those companies, the employees of these companies, end up owning more of the company. The people that get wiped out are the speculators that own the unsecured tranches of debt or the folks that own the equity. And by the way, those are the game. That's right, because these are the people that purport to be the most sophisticated investors in the world. They deserve to get wiped out. But the employees don't get wiped out. The pensions don't typically get wiped out.
Why does anybody, I just understand, why does anybody deserve, using your word, to get wiped out from a crisis created like this? How does anybody deserve to get wiped out?
Well, but just be clear, like, who are we talking about? We're talking about a hedge fund that serves a bunch of billionaire family offices? Who cares? Let them get wiped out. Who cares? They don't get the summer in the Hamptons? Who cares?
I mean, there are people. You don't think the employees?
Hold on, Scott.
You don't think the employees of these companies own stocks? I mean, own their stocks, own the company's stocks?
You can look on Bloomberg and you can see what percentage of these companies are typically owned by. These things are owned by BlackRock. These things are owned by these huge, amorphous organizations. Ultimately, downstream, and the employee owns a few $100s or a few $1,000s of shares.
Well, I just don't understand. So this is like a natural disaster. And why does anybody deserve to get wiped out? Wouldn't that be immoral in and of itself?
No, because what's happening right now is what I'll tell you is on Main Street today, people are getting wiped out. And right now, rich CEOs are not. Boards that had horrible governance are not. Hedge funds are not. People are. 6 million people just this week alone basically saying, holy mackerel, I don't know how I'm going to make my own expenses for the next few weeks, days, months. So it's happening today to individual Americans. And what we've done is disproportionately prop up and protect poor performing CEOs, companies, and boards. And you have to wash these people out.
I mean, I could not have said that any better. You have got to wipe these people out. And the reason why they are just speculators, they are just paper pushers, they don't build anything, their intellect builds nothing. And that is the things that I preach all about. This guy is a venture capitalist. He is saying, for those people who do something positive, the employees of the company now becomes owners of the company. The employees of the company who make what is really doing within that company can have a bigger share of the company. Those who are speculating, those who are pushing paper and saying, oh, look, I made a 20% return on my investment. Okay, what did you do for that 20%? I risked my capital. Well, you know what? Your employee risked his wrist. Your employee risked is coming into work, risked his life. The person building the bridge risked his body. The person building the home risked their bodies. These people risk something of value. I risked my capital. When I talk about capitalism, only caring about capital and humanity last, that's what I mean. When you hear Donald Trump express so much concern for Boeing, so much concern for the oil companies, no. Populate, inflate the people, inflate the money supply. We have a $675 billion space in there. Inflate that and let the American people choose what companies deserve to succeed. What companies deserve to succeed will be democratically chosen by the American people, not hierarchically by the tax break they get, by the regulation advantages they get, and all of that. COVID-19, folks, give us the ability. COVID-19 give us the ability to restructure this economy into an economy that makes sense for the average American citizen. That's what COVID-19. And if we squander this by electing a whole bunch of centrists, If we squander this by re-electing a bunch of right-wingers who do not share in the progressive values that pumps up every single American, then we would have deserved the continual decline into what I call servitude, indentured servitude. So folks, here's what I want you to do. You make sure going forward, these guys are at home. These guys, some may be in Washington. You call each one of them. No bailout for Boeing. No bailout for these corporations. We want bailouts for the American people who are at home right now waiting for the institution of government to develop a vaccine. We want people out there those people that are taking care of business, my grocer, my garbage man, all these people, we want them to have a stipend for what I called hazard pay. We need to start putting value where value belongs. My garbage man deserve more value. That doctor, that nurse, that grocery store worker, the janitor at that grocery store, the guy at the gas station, these are the people. These are the people of value to us. Now that we have the coronavirus, we are hiding at home while the real people of value. And notice I'm even putting a shade on myself. I can sit behind a mic. I can sit behind a camera and be safe. Because that is what I'm doing with my activism. But there are people that have to go out there and work hard. We have to honor those people. That is what we should be doing. We shouldn't be worried about that fat cat living flying his own jet. We shouldn't be concerned about that guy living in a skyscraper where you built, but you can't go into. People, this COVID-19 shows us who is really important in society. Let's not forget that. And it also shows us the lies that capitalism have been telling us about the money supply, etc. But we knew it all along because that a $1.5 trillion tax scam didn't cause inflation. We already knew that modern monetary theory was true, factual, because as long as nobody is running after a scarce resource, in other words, if there's a whole lot of something, then it won't inflate in price. Which is what's happening with gasoline, which is what's happening with petroleum right now, right? But what is our government and the plutocracy trying to do with petroleum? Oh my God, there's a glut. We can't have Americans paying 7 to 8 cents a gallon. We have got to clamp it down. So we are going to create a false scarcity so that the price goes up. So as you see price going up in health insurance, it's not that the prices of your health care changed. It is that they created a false scarcity. When you see your doctor bills going up, it's not that it costs more for the doctor. It is because they want that return for the 1%. We are going to be making 7, 10, 15, 20% return a year. Well, if the whole economy is growing at 2% and you have some fat cats making 20%, guess where that money is coming from, people? You. And when you stand up and support that, and when you stand up and support people that don't support Medicare for all, don't support child care, don't support the Green New Deal where you can actually not live in filth, when you support that audience, when you support those politicians, you are responsible for your own demise. Where is that person? When are we going to force these people to support the people? And stop supporting a fallacy. Stop supporting a lie taught to you by the Powell Manifesto, which had to reinforce from the generation of this country all that was wrong. People, please listen, people. And don't just take it as, oh, there you're venting. I am not venting. This is how things are. And this is the first segment of our show on the economic portion. I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.